So, are you planning to go to the Regal movie theater this week or sometime in the near future to go see a movie? In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys 5 helpful tips that I hope will help to save you some money, some time, and some stress going to the Regal movie theater. And that's one of my passions is going to the movies. As you guys can see behind me or if you can't see that, I have a lot of movie posters and stuff behind me. I'm a big movie fan. My name is LJ NADAL, and this is the Pop Culture Lighthouse Podcast, where every week we want to present helpful insights and tips that can help you to better enhance your entertainment experience, your experience with pop culture entertainment. That's what we're passionate about here. And that's what we're going to be getting into today. And today's episode, I'm really excited to be getting into it. So before we get into that, make sure you guys like and follow and subscribe to Pop Culture Lighthouse on YouTube. All of the information for our other links and our other social media, I think, is going to be in this video. If it's not on this video, you can simply find us at Pop Culture Lighthouse. And I'm really excited once again to get into this. Once again, my name is LJ NADAL, and let's get right into our topic for today. And without any further ado, we have 5 tips for you guys for going to the Regal movie theaters. And before we get into the tips, though, we also have one bonus tip that's going to be at the end of this video. So make sure that you stay tuned to the end of this video to get that bonus tip. But before we get into the tips, I just wanted to share my own little personal story about the Regal movie theater. And I'm from Northern Virginia, for those of you guys that don't know, and currently living in Central Virginia. And so I go to the Regal movie theaters all the time back home. There's 2 that I go to a lot, but near my house. And near my house here in Central Virginia, I go to this movie theater here, the Regal theater here. And so here's some pictures of me there, and it's kind of like my home away from home recently in the past couple of months, especially going to the movie theater. And then pictured here is from another Regal theater. The one on the right is my friends Alex and Emily, and we went to go see the new Batman movie. And that's just us chilling with some popcorn, getting ready to watch it. And then on the left is a picture of me and my mom. We're seeing, I think, Belfast in the theater close to my house back home in Northern Virginia. And then another Regal theater. This is a fun little story, but in this past summer, I went to go visit some friends and my uncle in New York, and I went to a theater downtown Manhattan, and this is the Regal RPX theater, and it was so funny. The picture on the right is showing the 11-story elevator. This theater was really tall and had a bunch of theaters, and I've never been in a theater that had like elevators and escalators and all these different floors of theaters. It was pretty cool. It was a huge theater. I think I saw the movie Reminiscence with Hugh Jackman. And so that was a pretty fun experience there. So yeah, just wanted to start with that. I'm a big fan of Regal movie theaters. I've been going to them for many years, and especially in the past couple of years with COVID and other things, it's been tough to have the movie theater shut down. But Regal movie theaters is the second largest movie theater chain in the world, or at least in North America. Some of the research that I've seen, it's a really large chain. A lot of people go see movies there at Regal. And that being said, there's a lot of locations. So these tips I'm about to give you are varied on location. So make sure you check with your local theater to see what exactly might apply and what might not apply to you. But I did try to keep that in mind when making these tips, that these can be universal tips that can be applied for most theaters and for most experiences. So without any further ado, let's get right into tip number 1. And tip number 1, for those of you guys that might not be able to see, I have some slides pulled up, so I might read off the slide. And also feel free just to send me your thoughts and your tips as well as we go through some of these. But let's get into tip number 1, which is just a simple one, which is avoid convenience fees. Purchase tickets at the counter or the kiosk rather than on the app. It saves you about 50 cents per ticket. So once again, these convenience fees, they're not a big deal. Paying that 50 cents on the app really isn't that big of a deal. And this isn't on all movies. I think I looked into it and saw that some movies don't charge the convenience fee and some movies do charge the convenience fee on Regal. Either way, on the app, you do have a convenience fee that you have to pay for most things. That's just the way it is. It's simpler to pay on the app, and I wish that paying on the app was, didn't have any cost associated with it, especially in the era of COVID, where you have a lot of people just wanting to do things online and contactless, not going in person to avoid being exposed to any type of virus. So, with that being said, I do wish that the 50 cents wasn't a thing and that we could just pay through the app, which is a pretty convenient way of doing things. But obviously, there's a little charge there. So, you can avoid that by going to the kiosk, going to the front desk, actually talking to someone and ordering the ticket, or figuring out a way to get there in person. So, that's tip number one. So, let's get into tip number two. Tip number two is do not rush. Regal movie showtimes don't actually start at the listed time. On average, you will have about 20 minutes of trailers and commercials before the showtime actually starts. So yeah, so this one is we're getting into some more technical, tricky stuff, but for the most part, what I've seen going to the movie theater, going to the Regal theater quite a lot. I've actually timed a couple times when I've gone there and sat down at the showtime when it actually starts, for example, at 7 p.m., sitting down at the actual time, and then timing out to see how long does it take for the trailers and the commercials to end, and then the movie to actually begin, the opening credits to roll. And I've actually clocked 28 minutes to almost 30 minutes before. And I wonder if those were showings for movies that were more popular and had more box office reach. And therefore, the movie theaters felt like they could, the Regal theater that I went to felt like they could um, put in a couple more commercials, a couple more trailers, just if they have the audience there, they might as well put as many eyeballs in front of some of their commercials and trailers as possible. And that's one of the ways that the movie theater is able to, keep the lights on and stuff like that. So that's something to kind of keep in mind there for sure. Some people, especially in the olden days, you would rush to the theater, you would try to get there like on time. You weren't sure like, that 7 o'clock, it's going to start right away. I'm going to be late. You don't have to worry about that in today's era, especially going to a Regal theater, because they have quite a bit of time in between when the showtime on the app or on your ticket says it's going to start and then the actual showtime when the movie actually starts rolling. So you have about 20 minutes or so, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, depending on the theater, depending on the movie that you're watching. So you actually have time to use the bathroom, to get popcorn, to park your car, get inside, talk to everybody that you need to, get everything situated, and then you can walk into the movie theater. So you still want to have some time where you can do that, but you don't have to be in the theater sitting down at that time, that show time that's on your ticket. That's a good thing to keep in mind so that you're not losing your mind, like we all used to do, losing your mind. We're late for the movie. It's going to be starting. We're going to miss what we're going to miss something important. You don't want to miss something important. So I get it, but just make sure that you're not stressing yourself out and running too crazy, because you do have that good chunk of time in between when the showtime starts with the commercials and between when the actual movie starts. So that is tip number two. And moving right along, we're moving pretty good through these already. So we're going to go to tip number three. And tip number three is reserve the perfect seats. Avoid sitting too close to the screen or in a crowded section at the back. The highest quality seating area in Regal theaters tends to be in the middle. And this is true. So going to a bunch of showtimes and theaters, in Regal theaters that have larger capacity and smaller capacity, it's all kind of the same. The acoustics and the sound quality is much better in the middle of the theater. So you want to try to get as close to the middle as you possibly can. You also don't want to choose a crowded area where people are, coming through and too many people around you as well, especially in the era of COVID. You want to take precautions, or that was something that was important. So they actually had buffer zones in between the seats for people sitting next to each other. So you actually had, you had a group of a couple people with you, and then you had a buffer zone in between another group of people or another person. And that was for health and safety reasons. But even now with people coming back to the theater, there are a lot of open seats and a lot of open spots. So you want to try to pick the best spot that you can, somewhere in the middle. And you don't want to go too far to the back. You don't want to go too far to the front, because front has that weird trapezoidal view or whatever, that angled view where you're looking up and you're kind of hurting your neck. So you do not want to sit too close to the front. I mean, that's pretty basic for most movie theaters and for most experiences in theaters. You don't want to sit close, and you don't want to sit in the back because the back does have some weird funny stuff going on, and there's usually a lot of people in the back, so you do want to kind of be in the middle. And I do like the leg room in the middle of the theater, especially towards the bottom where the handrail is, where the handicap seating is, and where the walkway is for exiting and entering the theater. And so that's a good place to kind of be towards the middle of the theater, maybe not too far to the front, but a little bit in the front, and not too far to the back. But obviously, if you have to choose some space, choose something towards the middle. And not too crowded. You definitely don't want to be caught between people in the theater because people are talking or people are eating food or whatever it is, and you don't want to be too close to people in the movie theater if you can help it. And so you want to definitely make sure that you reserve your movie tickets at a good time so that you are able to find a good seat, and you reserve them in a good place. And keep in mind the middle of the theater for Regal movies. So moving on, we're already on number 4, so we're moving to number 4. And number 4, the fourth tip is about the best time to go to the Regal Theater. And the best time to go see movies at Regal is definitely during the weekdays, especially Monday through Wednesday. Join the Regal Crown Club and use Value Tuesdays, where you get 50% off large popcorn and a discounted movie ticket price. And that's just a good thing to keep in mind, because some people, and I tell people too, going to the movie theater on a packed premiere night on a weekend where there's a bunch of people is one of the worst experiences. I mean, it can be great because you're surrounded by people and you want to have that fan experience, especially if there's a big movie playing and you think of like Avengers, you think of Star Wars, you think of some of these big franchises that have a lot of passionate people that love them, and you want to be part of that fan experience. And that's totally fine. That's something to kind of plan out and do, and just be aware of the sort of the hollering and the people that are talking and yelling and carrying on. Be aware of that. But that's still a totally valid experience. But if you're just trying to go see a movie, just a regular movie, I tell people the best time to go is on actually a Tuesday to a Regal theater, because on Tuesdays they have what's called the Value Tuesdays. And on Value Tuesdays, you have, if you're a Regal Crown Rewards member, which you should totally be because it's free, you can take advantage of this opportunity to go see a movie with the 50% off large popcorn. Large popcorns are around $9. So you're obviously getting a popcorn for around $5, 5 or less. And then the movie ticket price is around $13. So you actually get a movie ticket price for around $6. So those are some really great deals. And so Tuesday is a great time to go see the movies, because there are people that go for Value Tuesday, but it's really low at the Regal Theater that I attend here in my local town here. So it's a great deal. You get percentages off of your concessions, percentages off of your ticket. So it's just a great time to go. And there really isn't a lot of people that go to the Regal movie theaters during the weekend, during the weekdays. They mostly go during the weekends. And obviously for good reason, because the weekends you have more free time. You're able to be off of work and that type of thing. So there's definitely some pros to going on the weekend. You have more people that can possibly go with you. But I would say plan out your strategy for seeing a movie at Regal for Tuesday, or just sometime during the weekday, Monday through Wednesday especially, and make sure that you are a Regal Crown Rewards member so you can take advantage of the Value Tuesdays. Save some money on popcorn, save some money on tickets. It's just easy. You want to save some money. We all want to save some money, so definitely check that out. And that's probably the best time that I've seen to go to a movie at Regal. And moving on. All right, we're already at number 5. Okay, so this is number 5. Okay, so number 5 is pick something good. Okay, so the Regal movie theaters have the latest movies, but they also have much more. They have classic movies and exclusive limited event movies that you might not want to miss. So go to regmovies.com and see what's playing at your local theater. And this is a really interesting tip. So a couple months ago, last year actually, in 2021, I'm actually thinking it's around the fall time. They had they were playing classic movies at the Regal Theater, and they were also doing some really interesting screenings of some movies, like some animated cartoon movies and some other things like that that were really cool, uh, franchise type things. And like Akira was playing at the Regal movie theater, so I got my ticket. I went to go see Akira on the big screen. It's a really cool movie, and it's a really cool animation's awesome. And being able to see all of that stuff on the big screen, man, it was worth it. It was so worth it. And I really appreciate Regal for doing that, for having not just the newest, latest release movies, but also they're trying to also bring other people into the theater that might just want to watch something like a Jurassic Park or an Empire Strikes Back or some of those classic movies, bring them into the Regal movie theater, and then you pay like a $5 ticket, whatever it is, and you get to see some of these other movies and other limited exclusive to Regal theater options, more so than just the latest movies. Although there are some really great movies that are out, so you want to make sure that you are finding something that you really want to watch, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a latest release movie. Like I said, it can be something that they're re-releasing, like a classic movie that they're putting into a couple theaters for a couple days or for a week or two. And so you want to go on the website and you want to look at your theater, your local area theater for Regal, and you want to see what's playing and see and try to plan out what you want to see and make sure that it's worth the money that you're paying. If it's something that you've really been looking forward to seeing. If it's not, then it's probably not worth you paying that much money, because we all know that one of the reasons why people don't always go to the movie theater is because of the cost. And so if you want to be smart going to a Regal theater, you want to definitely look at not just the latest release movies that are coming out, but you also want to look at what is Regal playing that you might be interested in, that might be totally worth that price. And maybe you want to take a friend with you, and you get to experience maybe a classic movie on the big screen, which I highly recommend that. And I think that it's a great experience. I think that the cinematic experience is awesome. And I think that if you are able to find something that you really want to see there, I think it can be one of the highlights of your year for sure. Like it was for me going to a couple of them last year. So that's totally option for you to look at what is there and how to just pick something that is going to be worth your time. It's going to be worth your money. It's going to be worth your investment, because that is very important. And some of these smaller theaters, they have options as well too. But Regal, they have those options. Plus, they have all of the major releases right when they're released. As I said before, it's one of the largest movie theater chains in the world, and they have greater access to a lot of things than other smaller mom and pop movie theaters don't. So there's definitely some advantages to seeing a movie at Regal, and finding something you can find something that you really like there. So those are my 5 tips for seeing movies at Regal movie theaters. Before you go see the movie, definitely think about some of the things that we talked about. But before we end, I actually have one more bonus tip. And this bonus tip is actually going to be more so for hardcore movie fans, for people that see a lot of movies and who really want to get value out of saving money on their movie ticket prices and on concessions as well. Because not everybody is a hardcore movie fan. But if you are, this last bonus tip is going to really be for you. This is totally going to be for you. It's totally worth it. And the bonus tip for going to see a Regal movie is no bonus tip. There we go. The bonus tip is get Regal Unlimited. For a fair monthly fee, Regal Unlimited lets you see any movie, anytime. You also get Regal Rewards points, special deals, and 10% off of all concessions. It's worth it for movie fans, as I said, who go to around 20 to 25 movies a year. It's definitely worth it. I have it. I pay the $23 a month option, and you pay the monthly fee, and you can go to your movie theater, local Regal theater, or any other Regal theater, and you pay. And you don't pay for a movie ticket price. You just pick a movie, a showtime, and your seating, and it checks you out, and you don't pay anything other than a convenience fee if you pay through the app. But if you go to the actual theater, as I said in tip number 1, you avoid the convenience fee, so it's free. And I think it's totally worth it. I saw a whole bunch of movies back in 2021, and probably about 45, 46 movies, and some of them multiple times. And so I'm one of those hardcore movie fans. And you don't have to be a hardcore movie fan like me at all, but I would say probably around 20 to 25 movies a year. If you look at the calendar and the movie releases in 2022 or whatever year, and you can pick 20 or 25 movies in the theater that you really would want to see, or a couple movies that you might want to see a couple times. So, some of them you're going to double, some of them you might triple. How are you going to be able to afford that? And I think the best way to afford that experience at a Regal theater, obviously, is to get the Regal Unlimited Rewards program, because you get points and the points don't expire, I think, for like about a year. So you get points every time that you purchase concessions or you make a purchase of a ticket, whatever it is, even if it's free. These points are being added to your account that you can draw from to use for rewards points. There's also deals and offers and promotions, and you get a whole bunch of messages just letting you know what deals and what promotions are happening. And concession price coupons and everything like that too. So you get that 10% that can be really helpful for you. You can use your points and redeem your points that you earn for rewards and for concessions and for other things that you can purchase through the app or in person at the kiosk at the front desk. And so that's a really great thing. So it's really important to think about it. If you are a fan of movies, if you're a big movie fan and you really want to go to a Regal theater and see some of these latest releases or whatever it is, the Regal Unlimited Pass is for you fans. And I think that it's very fair price. I think it's a good price. And I think that the features that come with it are good. I've had this for about 2 years now, and I can't say that I've really been disappointed by it. I do wish that convenience fee wasn't there, especially because with COVID and stuff, you're trying to encourage people not to come into person. So, why are you charging 50 cents for me not coming in person and using the app and being safe, whatever it is. But it's not that big of a deal. Not as big of a deal breaker for this one for me, but definitely worth it. Definitely worth your time if you are a big movie fan. So let's go through and recap them one more time, recapping the 5 helpful tips for you if you're going to go see a Regal movie in the Regal theater. And let's go back through. Number 1 is avoid convenience fees. Number 2, don't rush. Remember, you have about 20 to 25 on average minutes from when the trailers start to when the actual movie begins. From the showtime, whatever the showtime is, to when the actual movie starts. You have about 20 minutes or so. And that depends on the showing, what's being showed, what movie it is, and what theater. But on average, you're looking at about 20 minutes. So you don't have to be rushing if you're a little bit late past that showtime. Number 3 is reserve the perfect seating. Remember that it's in the middle area. That's usually around the best seating in a Regal theater, and a good place for leg room and that type of thing. You don't want to be sitting too close. You don't want to be sitting too far in the back. Right in the middle is usually perfect. And number 4, the best time to go. Once again, we said Value Tuesdays. Go during the weekday. Monday through Wednesday is fine, but Value Tuesdays, where you get that 50% off large popcorn and a discounted movie price if you are a Regal Crown Rewards member. And number 5, pick something good. Remember that Regal has a whole bunch of movies that have just come out, but they also have other things like classics or exclusive limited event showings. Go to regmovies.com, check out your local theater, your local Regal theater, and see what's playing. And you can obviously find something that's worth your time, worth your money. And last but not least, the bonus tip, Regal Unlimited. It is a fair price, and you pay the monthly fee, and you get you can see any movie you want anytime with no weekly limits. And you also have Regal Rewards points that you can add up, special deals, and 10% off of your concessions. Definitely worth it for people, as I said, if you see around 20 to 25 movies a year. And that's going to be really helpful and really beneficial for you if you're in that camp like me. You can join the club with me. So without any further ado, and I guess we got through all of that stuff. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? If you guys are listening to this later, definitely leave a comment and let us know what are some tips, some more helpful tips for going to a Regal theater. I only covered 5. There's a ton out there on the internet. There's a ton of people that are asking these same questions or giving these answers for you guys. And we just want to, here at this channel, here at this show, we really want to every week just be providing you guys with helpful tips and insights, value, bringing you guys valuable content that can help you to, once again, save money, save time, and just save your sanity when planning a trip to go to the movie theater or to stay at home and stream something. We have some other content that we're going to talk about, the best ways to stream content, movies and shows from home. But also, we want to keep giving content for the best ways to experience a movie or a show or whatever, to experience those in a theater. And so we want to continue to provide valuable content for that. And so if you want more of that valuable content, you guys can obviously like and share and let people know about this channel, about this show. But the best way is definitely to subscribe on our YouTube channel. We're just starting out, and we're trying to just really crank out some really valuable content for you guys. So if you don't mind going there and subscribing and all of that stuff, so you can stay up to date with the latest releases and video content, everything from reviews from shows and movies to, once again, with this show, valuable just insights to help better enhance your experience with entertainment and pop culture. And so I've been LJ NADAL, and once again, I'm just so happy that to be able to do this, to be able to make this video for you, and other fellow movie fans as well. You guys can tell by my movie posters that I really have a passion. I really enjoy watching movies at home, but also I really enjoy the movie theater experience. So I think the next video I kind of want to for next week is to go off of the Regal Unlimited, possibly give a little bit of a review or a little bit more deep dive into the Regal Unlimited program. Maybe give some tips or some insights of where I think maybe things could be a little bit better, but also just let you guys know what you can expect in using it, what might be some problems, and also some really good benefits to using it. So I think that next time we want to maybe try to talk more about the Regal Unlimited plan itself, because I think that it is worth it, and it's something that you guys should check out if you're big movie fans. But that'll do it for this show. Once again, thank you guys for being here, and we're looking forward to seeing you all in the next one. And you guys have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your night, and we'll catch you all later.